What's up, guys? It's Kret. Today I want to talk to you about auto attack canceling. And auto attack canceling in Smite is a little bit weird. And in order to talk about it, I think we need to first cover what it isn't. So in Smite, each ability has a pre-cast time and a post-cast time. What that means is there's a small windup before you use the ability and then a windup after. Impale's a good example of this. So on her is going to pull back, throw the spear, that's when the ability happens, and then he's going to recover. Right? So there's like this little moment where he goes like, huh, and then he throws it and he recovers. It lasts about half a second. And during, obviously before I use the ability, I can't do anything because I'm committing to casting this ability. But I also can't do anything after the ability during the post hit. So I'm going to press 2 then 1 on my keyboard. I use instant cast. What's going to happen is I'm going to input Impale and then Pillar really quick. Hopefully you can hear it. Alright, only Impale comes out. And that's because I did the input for the Pillar during a point when I was committed to the Impale. So let's just do this slower. I'm going to press 2 and then I'm going to spam my 1. Alright, so that's the delay. That's the post hit. During it, I'm committed to the Impale. I can't do anything else. And I can't even auto attack, right? Alright, yeah, so that auto attack comes out kind of delayed. And once again, that's the post hit on the Impale. So what's interesting is when you're committed to the post hit from an ability, you can't auto attack. And auto attacks, much like abilities, right, as we saw earlier, you know, can't use 2 abilities at the same time. Auto attacks are the same way, right? I can't just like left click and auto attack as fast as I want. Instead, there's this internal cooldown. But what's interesting is the internal cooldown of auto attacks doesn't stop you from using abilities, so you can cancel an ability into an auto attack. I'm going to go over the gold fury just to show you guys this, and watch for the ticks of damage. So I'm going to click, then I'm going to press 2. Right? 2 ticks of damage there. That's ability canceling, and it does take some time, but it's really not much. So that it's basically almost always better than just casting an Impale. Now there, I just cast an Impale, where I did, what, 530 damage maybe? Let's open the combat log and see. 326 damage. Or I can auto attack, cancel it, and I'm going to do 130 plus 371. And part of that has to do with on her's enfeeblement passive. So that's what canceling looks like, and you can do it with anything, right? I can do Pillar, auto attack, jump. I can even do it into Desert Period. And actually, in some situations, you can cancel into an auto attack. That's only for abilities with very, very short post-hit delays, but some sort of duration in between. So you've got the pre-hit, which is what happens before the ability. Then you've got the ability duration, so it's some sort of ability that you commit to, like a channel or a jump. You've got the post-hit that lasts a very short period of time. And in those circumstances, you can sort of cancel into an auto attack. So watch this. Right, as I land, I throw a spear. So that's canceling into. It's a lot less rare, or a lot more rare than basic ability canceling, or auto attack canceling. But it's good to know too. Another example of this is Thor. After he's spinning, can immediately swing his hammer, so you get some nice bonus damage there. So the other interesting thing is I mentioned abilities have a pre-hit, right? Like there's that little windup on the Impale. Well, they have a post-hit as well. And so do auto attacks. The auto attack pre-hit and post-hit is cancelable, so that means you can use an ability at any time. So right, like between, so watch on her's animation, right? He's gonna pull his little arm back, and then he's gonna throw the auto attack. It's kind of short, but you can see it there, right? Like, bam, pull it back. Yeah, he pulls it back a little bit before he fires the auto attack, and then he has to recover. And then he does it again. Alright. So that's the pre-hit and the post-hit on the auto-attack. And I can cancel out of it at any time, right? So, like, post-hit is sort of when the spear is flying, so... Right, I can cancel out of the post-hit into those abilities. What's interesting though, and potentially dangerous, I've only done it once this video so far, but I actually do it on accident a fair amount because I click too fast, is you can actually cancel out of the pre-hit of your auto attack. That looks something like this. Right? You heard the click. I know you did. You can see his hand come back a little bit, but he doesn't actually fire the auto attack. And I'll do this to the Titan, or the gold tree over here. Right? Just an impale. See? Even though I'm definitely clicking, and you can see his hand come back, he's not firing the auto attack, and that's because I'm interrupting the pre-hit of my auto attack. I'm interrupting the ramp up time, so Anhur doesn't get in the point of his animation where he actually throws the auto attack and it just cancels it, which is a weird little situation. So in general, you might think that, right, like there's a duration to impale. It lasts a certain period of time to use that ability. There's a duration to pillar, and there's a duration to other abilities, longer abilities, like the jump and Desert Fury, but really like impale, right? That didn't take that long. So I could probably put that between auto attacks and have it just be free damage. And that's generally a good idea, right? Like that's probably free damage if I just, or pillar, another example. I messed it up there. But, right, like I just impaled in between those auto attacks, and it probably didn't make a difference. It was probably just free damage, didn't slow down my auto attacks at all. Pillar, pretty much the same. But what's interesting, and what I'm working on in Kretuhtuh 2.0, is how the pre-hit time of your auto attack can affect this. That means that the cooldown in my auto attack, right? So your auto attack cooldown is the period of time between using one auto attack and using your next. To get that number, it's 1 divided by 1.57. You could do that math, whatever. So for Anhur, probably like 0.7, 0.6, probably like 0.7 or 0.6 right now. So that means between auto attacks, I'm waiting 0.6 of a second. And hypothetically, if my 2 is fast enough, if the duration of my 2 lasts less than 0.6 of a second, just using it as a DPS gain. But the pre-hit takes away from that, because the pre-hit's a time where if you use your 2, it interrupts your auto attack, you don't fire that auto attack, and it doesn't, like, you can't clip into the next auto attack with it, right? Like, you can't do the pre-hit while you're still recovering from the impale. You have to wait for impale's post-hit to end, then start the pre-hit for your second auto attack. So this data that I'm working on gathering, getting my hands on, is really actually very important, because it allows us to determine, if I'm an ADC auto attacking, what abilities can I use between my auto attacks to gain damage, and what can't I? You know, like, at what point is Anhur's not the best example because Impale is a useful ability, but at what point would, like, Apollo's 1 be bad to use between auto attacks, if at all? So that's something that I'm working at, something that you could expect in Kretuhtuh 2.0. For continued updates on that, what I'm working on, some other stuff, feel free to follow my YouTube channel. You can subscribe down below. If you like what I'm saying, you can follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/EGRKret. Shoutouts to my boys at Team Eager. Zap and Lasses will be doing analysis for the spring finals this weekend. And I guess you can follow me on Twitch too. I stream sometimes. Working on getting a sub button. And yeah, that's it. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. And I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.